Draining.
Good afternoon and welcome to Clarity TV. My name is Barbara Gray and this is our dear friend Paul Church.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And we're set to keep you company for a couple of hours here with some beautiful, new and exciting products. It's a super lovely day outside, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, we've got the windows open already, so we don't have any tropical moments.
We've already taken our shoes off. And if the sun is shining where you are, then a special thanks to you for keeping us company too. It's lovely to spend some time with you.
So I think we've probably got Grace in the room with you to start off with, and you've also got the lovely Gilly as well. So
cool.
If there's any questions, they're there to feed them through. Gilly says the sound is good. Thank you, Gilly. There we go.
Hey, Gilly. And also, I'd like to say this is not awful April. No. This is amazing April.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got so many lovely things lined up here at Clarity for your good selves. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, and it starts today, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
First Sunday of the month.
Yeah, it's a bit later this month, isn't it? Because the way the month's fallen.
It's the 6th today. But it's still the first Sunday of the month. So
absolutely.
Amazing April coming up at Clarity.
Definitely. Yeah. And there's lots of amazing new products coming.
So we're waiting for our friends to join us. And if you're one of the shackers, if you're one of our shack friends that always comes to the party on a Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning or at 7 o'clock in the evening on a Monday, Tuesday or a Thursday, you'll be very familiar with these little people that we're going to be showing you today. There's been a lot of hype about them.
There has. You gave me a little sneaky peek in the shack last Thursday.
I did, yeah. And Gracie, she was joining us in the shack. She said, I'm obsessed. She said, these are the best stamps you've ever done, Mum. Isn't that lovely?
And considering the vast library of designs that
30 plus years she's been watching this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. She says these are absolutely beautiful. And she kept saying, these are pinky grey, pinky grey, pinky grey, you know, for the finished prints.
Oh, definitely.
So cool. So cool. So without further ado, how about, Paul, how about you tell our friends a little bit of housekeeping, how to shop with us? This is definitely Selly Telly.
It is indeed, yeah. And so there's several ways in which you can order. You can order via our website, which is claritycrafts.com.
Yeah.
You can also give the office a call because we have the lovely Sue. She's already been on the phones. The phone's been ringing already.
She's downstairs.
So the phones are open with the lovely Sue, and you can call that number on 01732 868 215. If you're going to shop via the website, when you go to claritycrafts.com, there's a lovely little button that says Clarity TV. If you click in there, smaller version of that. And if you click into that button, you'll find everything that Barb's going to be sharing with us over the coming hours. Now, we've got various different bundles. We've got some fantastic savings available.
Yeah.
But everything is also available individually as well. So like, you've got the ink pads, you've got the stamp pens. There's so much to share with you. Then just above that area, when you're in there, you've got the catch up and craft. And if you go into that section, what you'll be able to find is all of our previous Clarity TV shows.
Yeah, all recorded.
Yeah, together with any demo downloads that we do.
These are the demo downloads. I'll show you those in a minute.
Yeah. So if you like what you're watching, then you can download those demos, save them to your computer or print them off. I know many of our friends are putting them in folders.
It's a good idea.
It is.
It's a really good reference. It's like a library of courses, really. It really is demonstrations, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it gives you a really good, quick reference how to find, doesn't it?
Yes, because on the top of each of them, you've got the date and the time of that particular show. So if you've ordered something, when it turns up, you can go back, oh yeah, it was that day. Go into the click up and craft, catch up and craft, click up and craft, catch up and craft, and then you can click into there. You can also watch the video there, or you can watch via our Clarity Crafts YouTube page as well, because everything's on there as well.
Yeah, YouTube as well. So a lot of people prefer YouTube because they can watch it on their big screens. Definitely. And either way, you know, we're here to keep you company, whether you watch on Facebook, whether you watch directly on our website, which is also a possibility. You can go straight into the website and watch, can't you, IPTV?
And every time you purchase from us, you also earn our Clarity rewards, our loyalty points as well.
Yeah, whether you're a club member or not, that is, isn't it?
As long as you have an account with us, then every time you spend with us, you'll get points. And when you get 300 points, you get £5 off your order.
And you have to open an account with us in
Yeah.
order to place an order.
Yes,
So it's automatic.
it is indeed.
And how many
Yeah.
points do I get if I sign up?
50 points when you first open an account for the very first time.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you've got something to start with.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. And it
then
does
we
add
often
up.
run special offers with double loyalty points or triple points as well.
Watch Amazing April for that one, because we're
Yes.
definitely, I've been putting double DP, DLP, double loyalty point, double on all the products. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got some
definitely.
really cool stuff coming through.
We have indeed.
Shall we have a look at these downloads? Do you want to have a look? Or should we look at the product first?
Should we look at the product? Should we go to a full screen?
Let's go to a full screen.
We've had a few changes here in the studio,
Yeah,
so we're going to give it a trial, aren't we, and see how it goes. Okay, so what we're going to do first, I'm going to swap over to that screen there, and I'm going to bring up the details for today's main event.
Okay.
So you can see here at the top of the screen, you've got the item number, which is 12141.
Nice.
And this is Barbara's Shack People and Bijou Layout Montage A4 Slim and A6 Stamp Collection.
Yeah, so what I was just going to mention as well, many of you may be familiar with these brilliant layout montages.
Yeah.
But they are, I will show you in a minute, the sizes, these are tiny by comparison.
They are.
But they are fantastic for these little people, but for so many other.
Definitely.
You know, because we're into our mini makes, aren't we, at the moment?
We are.
So we'll bring that back in a moment. But there's so much this whole year. We started that Facebook page.
Yeah, the Clarity Crafts
the group.
Mini Makes.
Yeah, the Clarity Crafts Mini Makes. If you haven't heard about that, that's another group that's edging up on nearly 1,000 people now.
Yeah, and it's all about the community, isn't it?
It's very community based, and it's also a really great swap shop, isn't it? Where you go, there's an ATC and a PTC
swap. Yeah, if you want to take part.
Artist trading cards or parchment trading cards. And it's really lovely. I'm in it, you're in it.
I am indeed.
There are hundreds of us. And what happens is you get a list and you get your partner, and then you receive a beautiful piece of artwork from them every month. And then you in turn send one to them. And then they get posted on Facebook. And some of the artwork is inspirational, isn't it? It's so beautiful.
And it's like an arty version of a pen pal, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole thing about this ATC, PTC swap, it's not mandatory. No. You don't have to do it. You could just sit back and watch. But if you want to join in, and I think often as a crafter, it's really great to have a reason to make something. You know, you don't need to be alone. And the whole idea was born out of a lot of us kind of lost our mojo because of what's going on in the world, and it hasn't got any better, has it?
Amazing April.
Amazing April. Yeah, that's it. Amazing April. So this little mini make group has really bounced. You know, so we've got the Groovy Worldwide, we've got Clarity Worldwide, we've got Pergamano Worldwide, and now we've also got this other brilliant group with the mini makes.
Yeah, mini makes and ATCs.
On the subject of Pergamano Worldwide, Paul, wasn't there something else we wanted to mention?
There was indeed. We're currently, because it's Amazing April, if you go to pergamano.com, which is a completely separate website, but it is owned by us here at Clarity.
Sure is.
There's 30% off everything for the month of April. Amazing April. And if you spend over £50, we would also add into your parcel, when we pick and pack it, a pack of 20 sheets of A5 parchment worth $9.99.
That's a consumable.
Yeah. So that's on the pergamano.com website. But then on the Amazing April Clarity website, we're currently running an offer up until midnight on Thursday with a pack of our beautiful 5x7 petite card toppers.
And the reason that we've got this free gift is because it all will become abundantly clear with the very first demo, because that's how it happened. I was doing the first demo and then I thought, wait a minute, and I'll show you. More will be revealed on that one.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about these downloads, shall we? So if, for example, first let's look at the first demo, and you can see here, nobody is you, that is your power. What a fantastic,
Wow.
that packs a punch, doesn't
It
it?
does.
So I'm going to show you, this is Dee Paramore's card. I saw it, I loved it, I thought that's what I want to share.
Yep.
And you can see here, this is the papers in the background.
Yes.
So we'll have a little look at that. But the point here is actually all about the download.
Yes. So what it does, it gives you your date, time and date, which demo it was, what the demo was called, what was made, and then you've got a list of all the ingredients that were used.
Yeah.
And if you keep this on your computer, you store it somewhere on a folder, when you click on those links, it will take you straight to the product as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the first one.
Yeah.
And then we've got more of those. So more to be revealed. But you can see here, that's my personal favourite, New York City, I called that one. Because that to me just looks like the front of an old brownstone building. And it feels like you've got all the ladders, you know, the steps going
like the
up.
fire exits.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I just
I'm
realised
in love
that.
with this. Even if I say so myself. I'm going to frame this one. But again, you see, it says demo 4, 3 to 5, 6th of April, what was made, so ideas and what was used.
Absolutely.
So it's a really good reference, because often we don't know, you know, a month from now, I won't remember which ink pads I used or.
Yeah.
So this is a really lovely storage option.
Definitely. And I know, say, many of our friends are doing that. They're printing them off or they're just saving them onto their computer.
So let's just take a look at this one again, which I'm going to go to in a second.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do now is perhaps go to the freebie.
Yeah.
Because if you show me, for example, these are the designer cards.
Yes.
Right. And I just want to show you that this comes from this. Right. This is it comes from the front of the pack.
Ah.
Right.
Okay.
So having said that, right, I think maybe you could just show us the packs now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show us the pack shot.
So we're going to go to, this is a different camera now. So we're going to go to this product here. So you can see here, with every purchase over £50, you will receive one of these 8 different petite toppers. So when they're picking team are picking your orders, they will put one of these in there as well. It'll have a little sticker on there, say it's a free gift from Barb. And yeah, definitely. And it's worth £14.99.
It is. It's a. Can I come to me now?
Can indeed.
To us.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, there's a pin on the floor.
Downstairs, you're taking shoes off.
The thing, yeah. So normally you'd have to wear hard toe caps wouldn't you, in any other studio, but not here.
No.
The thing about that is when I do the first demo, you'll completely understand. So just hold that thought, have faith, trust what I'm saying, and then understand it later.
Yeah. So we've got several new products to share with you today. The first one is on your screen. It's 12141. So this was the Barbara Shack.
So is that
there we
this
go.
big?
So that's that full
bundle.
pack shot there.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 of those A4 slim stamp sets, which Barb was talking about, and she'll show you the size comparisons. Now, this would normally be £58.96.
So here you're going to get all 3 of those tall stamp sets, and 3 of each. So you've got the doodle, the grunge, and the retro sets in those 3 packs.
In those 3 sets.
Plus your little people, your little shack people.
So the saving of £10.99 means that you're going to get the shack people for free.
For free.
Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. So that's that first collection there. So we're just going to take that away. Then the other brand new item we have today, these are going to be so popular. This is the woodblock sticker book collection. Item number 31781.
Can I?
Of course you can.
Can I?
You can.
Right. So these are new stickers. And again, Gracie goes, I'm obsessed. So you know that we've got the block print words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've brought out the block print stamps and postcards, but these are let's just look at the stickers first before we do anything else. And what you'll see here, you get 8 sheets. You get 2 sheets in white. Yeah. Like black on white, white on black.
Yeah.
And you get 2 of each.
So you get 8 sheets in total.
And what you'll see is, just so you're clear, you've got some of the old ones in here, like you'll recognize One Day at a Time, All You Need Is Love. I am, I can, I will. But then you've also got the new ones. Nobody is you, that is your power. Time to step into the shoes of your own life. And you'll see that we've also got, this is so cool. If you look closely here, you'll see, let me just, there
Look
it
at
is.
that.
We've got our little Japanese symbols.
Yeah.
We've got our little people.
And these are all little stickers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all little stickers. So now you see, they're just gorgeous
Look
to
at
use.
that.
Okay, so it's packed with goodness. And this particular set now, if I go to that,
Yeah.
then you can possibly just talk about it.
Yeah,
Paul?
there we go. So item number is 31781, £12.99. Now, don't forget, if you belong to any of our Clarity Craft Clubs, you'll also receive your relevant discount as well. So that brings that price down, if you're a Diamond Club member, to £11.04.
So that's the stickers.
That's the stickers. Then we have, I'm going to swap this over. Do you want to come back to you and I'll just swap this little pack shot out?
Well, let's look at the let's just look at the words on the stamps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because we're going to look at the words first. So we've got a set of stamps here, right, which are 12140. Maybe Paul can
I'm going to swap those
the information around for you.
There we go.
So this is a new set. I think, and Jazz agrees with me, these are the best so far.
Yeah.
So we've used our wood block lettering that Dave creates on the Heidelberg downstairs. Right, so these are wood print, really beautiful blocks. And then I've created the words or the sentiments. Time to step into the shoes of your own life. Boom. Nice. Nobody is you, that is your power. What a treasure you are. I think you are brilliant. This one makes me cry. If I could roll back time, I would find you sooner so I could love you longer.
Don't start. Don't start. We're only just getting going.
And I love that one so much, I did it twice.
I think it's nice to have it in the two different layouts, isn't there?
And then, of course, what we've got is the postcards to go with. So you can see here we've got the postcards, which are brilliant because you get two of each. And you can see here, there's lots of room for play.
Yeah.
And I'll show you a couple of tricks there that I've done. I'm going to do a demo with these tomorrow in the 2 o'clock show.
Of course, yeah, being carried over.
So if you get the posters, the postcards and the stamps.
Postcards are free.
The postcards are free.
Yeah. So item number 21239. You've got that £5.99. So you're paying for the stamps, regardless of whether you're a club member or not.
Which is marvellous.
It is indeed. So we've had you get the Shack People for free if you buy that collection with the montage stamps. If you go for your quote stamps, you also get your postcards for free. And if your basket's over £50, you'll also get a pack of that beautiful 5x7 petite card topper as well.
Yes.
Worth $14.99.
So what I would say, the best thing to do now is have a little look at some artwork.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah? Should we start with the main collection?
Let's start with the little people.
Okay. And
then we'll look at those three. I'll tell you what I'll start with.
Yeah.
What about if we show off the difference in size between the original montage? Because a lot of you at home will already have the montage. I was really impressed when I saw. I just want to show you the difference in size. So if you just take on, let's just have a look here.
Yeah.
If you look at this, for example, the doodle one, just look at that one there. So that's the size, and we'll show you some artwork with these in a moment. Right, so you've got the doodle set.
Yeah.
But let me show you the size of the original. Look at that. So you understand this is for our mini make friends.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
For that,
and the price on one of these sets. So you're going to get all three of those. That's 9 of these little. These are great for scene building, aren't they? Or
they are indeed.
Just fill them in.
Yeah.
You know, stamp it up and fill it in.
And when you share the demos with us during the courses, you'll really see. And you know that one that Bob said was their favourite one, New York. You'll see where this comes from.
So if you look at that, right, that's that one there. There's a big difference between this and that when you're stamping up. And the little people, I'm going to show you. Look, if you take the little people, you start. Right? Yeah, I know.
It's like a build a scene, isn't it?
It's so fun to do.
Yeah.
And then so we've got doodle,
Yeah.
we've got grunge, and then we've got retro.
And don't forget, you can turn those in
Oh,
4 different
yeah.
ways as well, can't you?
You certainly can. So look at the difference. So this is just, I've just picked one to show you stamped out, but you can see the difference between the retro and that. And of course, just like Paul says, you turn it any way you like.
And it gives it a different look, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. But because it's small, it's so useful.
And perfect for these
So,
lovely little
so
shack
useful.
people.
So having shown you that,
Yeah.
did it just get warm in here?
It's got
It did,
warm
didn't it?
again. Yeah, I know.
It's weird.
I know, as we get going, isn't it?
Let's have a look at the little people art.
Little people.
Are you ready for some little people art?
There we go.
Okay,
So-
let's check it out. So these are this is the, look, that's the large set. Look, check it out. It's
Yeah.
nice, but it's substantial,
And that's
isn't
using
it?
the wee folk.
That's using
isn't
the
it?
wee folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at this. So we got these little people, and how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 25 on a sheet.
Wow.
So there's 25 little folk. Yeah.
Available individually, item number 12139, $10.99.
And can I say that they sit absolutely perfectly on the stamp pens created by my darling husband, Dave. He's coming in the building tomorrow.
He
First
is
time back in
indeed.
the building.
Yes.
But the stamp pens, these are built to create, they are just perfect.
Perfect
Because
for
they're so
that.
tiny, they just sit beautifully on the stamp
Yeah.
pens. Okay, so
So
more,
we've got those on the screen if you
more
wanted
fun
to
there.
stock up on those.
Let's have a look at some artwork, shall we? Okay, let's start with Linda Spencer. And then we won't spend too long on the artwork because I've got a lot of demos to show you. But let's just take a look at some ideas here. There we are, just showing you. These are stamps, or you could use stickers as a base. Again, Linda Spencer worked.
Excuse me, the design team didn't get the stickers, did they?
No, they
because
didn't.
they were literally hot off the press.
Yeah, they didn't. They really didn't. No, that wasn't a possibility. But if you've got word chains,
Oh,
look how
that's
beautiful they sit
lovely.
on there. Sheila Metzeler, really nice.
That's one of your little toppers and tags, isn't it?
Yes, there
Yeah.
you go. Cool, isn't it? Dee Paramore, lovely. She's used that to great effect. You can see here that writing.
Yeah.
So this one blew me away. Sheila Metzeler, right? So I looked at this the other day and I thought, where did you get those little wreaths from? And I did bring this up in the shack. And those wreaths are actually from the Christmas papers, believe it or not. Now, why is that not? It's a bit furry. Why is it a bit furry? Oh, no, it went then. Okay, sorry about that. There we are.
There we go.
So if you look at the Christmas
Set 2 of the bow
set
wobs.
2, there's the paper there. Look, white on black. See it?
Yeah.
And that's what Sheila's used. And they sit in there just gorgeous.
They're lovely, aren't
So
they?
the bow wob papers just took on a whole new use.
Item number 31712.
Welcome home.
Oh,
Look,
thanks.
so now all those
letterboxes.
letterboxes, whether you use letterboxes or from the gnomes or the elves, all of those letterboxes work absolutely brilliantly now. Those little vases we had the other day,
Oh, the
Tina
potted
Morris.
plants.
Look,
Oh, look at that.
this is a cool one by Sonia Goodliff.
Dee's papers in the background.
Yep, Sheila Metzeler, just using these little guys to hold.
Nice.
So nice. This is another one. Shack People and the Splats, just to
Oh,
give
of
them a
course.
backdrop.
Yeah.
And then we've got, you can make frames with them, look like these. This is a Sarah Brennan, whole notelets. Look, how pretty is that?
And you
And
can
she's
see,
using
I was
the-
going to say, work perfectly with those quote stamps.
Exactly. So we've got the quote stamps, or you can use the stickers, whichever you
Yeah.
prefer. These are lovely, aren't they? Jigsaw puzzle, Sheila Metzeler. There we go.
Super.
Okay.
Wow.
There's
and
your
that's
little
just
people.
really the little people.
That's
so
just
to
the
speak.
little people. And now we're going to put the little people in those houses.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
They're
They
like
are
little
like little
houses.
houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
There
have a
we
look
go.
at these then. Are you ready? Right, let's have a look. This is a Linda Spencer. So this is where you start to see how they just fill so beautifully. They just sit in there, just gorgeous, don't they?
Just
That's
a little bit
doodle
of
one.
colour.
There we go.
We've got
So you
those
can-
dies on the show. Half price, those dies.
Are they?
Buy one, get one free.
I use them in the demo.
I know.
There's a Sonia.
Oh, look at all the
Little
little
scenes.
scenes.
I've done a similar one. I took inspiration from Sonia's. Look, aren't they gorgeous?
Wow.
So yeah, I'll show you. I'm going to do something similar. That is one of the ones. I'll show you. There, look, see?
Demo number 3.
Demo number 3, please. there. Aren't they great?
Lovely.
Yeah, really nice. Mum, Linda Spencer, love that. My mum wouldn't like the cats so much, but and this is a gorgeous one by Dee. Look at the colours in that one, that retro
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
Really lovely, isn't it? It's quite interesting. It's hours and hours of play here. Sheila, you can see here, they just fit in there so beautifully.
And as you say, they're perfect for the little mini makes, aren't they?
Yep. Tina Morris, what a treasure you are. So there you see, less is more. Aren't they gorgeous? And you could chop these up as well.
Of course.
There we go. And then you can combine them with the stamps because they work beautifully together. They have that same feel, don't they? You see, you don't have to use the whole thing. You can just use part of it like that in a tag, which is what I did in that New York City one.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'll show you how that works. See, this is just part of a piece. Just chop it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stamp it next door, chop it up.
Chop it off.
Yeah. So you're not
squares.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No.
You could take that one, for example, and just use that part there. You don't have to. See?
Yeah.
Just chop off black edging.
So much versatility to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a great one. See, so you've got you can combine it, you know, with Tina's little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Look, when I bring in a bit closer, you'll see the little people, it's very slow to come together, isn't it?
There it is.
There it is. So you see how we're combining now? These are the little doodle stamps from Tina Cox, right? And then we can also go to like fantastic retro background. Deborah Wheeler, look, little people. It's great.
Party time in that one.
Yeah. Or you can use your wee stamps. They work beautifully. So there's a lot of combination here. Deborah McMullen, you can see here. Yeah, or you can go real large, like I'm sure that's a Andy Duggan. Bow wallpapers in the background. That's a postcard stamped onto a postcard.
Looks like a TV, doesn't it? A retro TV.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go. There we are. So
wow.
I think
that's those.
Now let me see. So we've shown you the little people.
Yeah.
And we've shown you the
montage,
the houses, if you like. And then the last thing we want to show is the actual
stamps and
postcards.
Words.
So should we do that as well?
Yep.
Let's have a look at these
details for those.
Okay, thank you.
There we go.
Let's have a look. So we'll start with a little. You see, so they just work really nicely together.
You can see the houses, like the montage stamps
in the background. Yeah, little circles, little people. Look at this one. This is a Tina Morris special. Stamp away. What it looks like wallpaper.
Yeah, I was going to say wallpaper or wrapping paper.
This is a great one by Jane Telford. It's one of the postcards.
Oh yeah.
And then she's just wrapped little people all around it. Sheila Metzeler. Look, she's made a pattern out of the guy.
Goodness.
Here's a postcard again. Sonia Goodliff. I think you're brilliant. I love this one. Sonia Goodliff. Nobody is you. That is your power. Look at this little fella. He's parting the trees. Isn't that great?
Brilliant. So you can use them because they're a blank canvas, the postcards. You can build your own scenes on them, can't you?
Be unique, be you. You could put another B there, couldn't you? Be unique. That's great. That's a Linda Spencer. There's a Deborah McMullen again. Deborah McMullen. Really lovely. So you see the combination now.
Yeah.
You can see why we put them together. This is a great one by Jane Telford, the postcard.
Yeah.
And then the little, remember the little houses?
Wee houses,
it's a shack, isn't it? And these little people. I remember when we drew these in the shack, I was blown away.
Viral, didn't it, on Facebook? Yeah.
By how many of these beautiful, everybody, it did go viral.
It was like people was doing A4 sheets of them.
Yeah, it was so lovely. So I picked the ones that I did and we turned them into stamps.
Definitely.
So there we go.
So
is that
that's
everything?
All the artwork we've gone through. Yeah.
Time to do the demo.
Shall we indeed?
Yeah,
right,
okay. Off we go.
Right, so I'm going to go over to one of my pack shots then while you bring your bits and pieces together. So you can see here, everything is available individually. So this is the set 8 quotes, You Are Brilliant, the A5 square stamp and postcard duo. So as we mentioned earlier, $14.99, so you're saving $5.99, which means you're getting those postcards for free. You get 14 postcards in there, and when you look at that artwork, it's absolutely beautiful because you can see you can throw, because it's printed on the same cardstock as our stencil card, you can throw paint at it, you can throw water at it, you can throw anything at it. You really can. And then really the highlight of today's show, the main focus, this is Barbara Shack People and Bijou Layout Montage A4 Slim and A6 Stamp Collection. The saving of $10.99 means that you're going to get those Shack People for free. Now, I've just had a question. What is the size of the little montage stamp? So I'll get the ruler out.
That's 3 inches.
So, yeah, it's about 3 inches squarish, because obviously they're various different, they're not complete squares,
they're
are
about
they?
3 inches square, aren't
3
they?
inches square. So there we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect for your 4x4 mega mounts.
So the first thing I want to do is go to, are we ready?
Yeah, we'll come back to you on that one.
Okay, so let's just take a look at this little card that Dee did, and then we'll deconstruct it. Deconstruct it. Right, it's really easy to do. And as Paul showed us earlier, I'll just bring in this set here, for example. So when you get, for example, your free Waimea Falls or Toscana, what you get is this piece here. So Dee, being Dee Paramore, she sees options, she sees potential. I went with the back as well, because I thought I see more potential, right?
Of course, yes.
So I'll show you that as well. But if you just chop that bit off the front like so, of any one of these, it gives you a really smashing background like that.
Yeah.
Okay, look, that's it there. It's that easy.
Nice.
So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. I also, just because I can, I'll show you this as well, because I came up with this earlier. I just stuck this down with a bit of low tack to show you. But here, for example, these are the backs of the same, because sometimes we just throw this away.
Oh, of course,
I mean, what we're interested in is these beautiful papers, right? That's what I made with alcohol ink, right? So you've got these lovely papers, but when you chop them up, I'll show you.
They take on a new meaning,
They take on a whole new life. And so what I'd done here was, I thought, cool, these are nice. And so I chopped them up. Now you can use 2, you put something in the middle, you could just use 1 as a base like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought, well, what happens if you stamp on the dark ones though?
Yeah.
So they're quite difficult to see. Let me come in a bit closer. So then what I did was, see, I stamped on it and you couldn't really see it because I took the blackest.
Yes.
It would be so easy to just take one of these and go,
let's do it on the yellow one.
I'll do it on the yellow one, right? Piece of cake. But I put it on the darkest one. And then, of course, it was difficult to see it. And so then what I did was I stamped it onto a bit of white card, just cut the dress and the hat out, used a quickie glue pen.
Piecing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that way, on the couple of dark ones that are in there, you just do that.
Yeah.
Okay, easy.
Wow.
Okay, so going back to Dee's original artwork, let's go back to here. Now we know where we've got that from.
Yeah.
Right, that's the first thing. Then
but you can only obviously do that once.
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you in a minute how this works. This is a piece of cake. This is a real warm-up. Then we're going to take a piece of stencil card, which happens to be 5 inches. Like, let's come out a little bit. 5 inches, like that.
Okay.
And about 1 inch in width.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to stamp the little people down there.
Nice.
Right, so let's just do that. What did I use to stamp? Well, I did what Dee did, and I took colours from the archivals, little archivals, that kind of, they just, they brought out the colours in
from
the paper.
Ah.
So all you're going to do now is just pick which ones you want, get yourself your 4 stamp pens, okay? And I'm going to just for positioning, because we're going to use 5 of them, I'm going to go with the one in the middle first. I'll start with the one in the middle and I'll work my way outwards. So I'm going to take, and we've got these in stock, haven't we?
We have indeed, yes. So there's a complete selection on the website as well. They're all in that show page. We've got the... You can indeed. We've got the Distress Archivals. We've also got a couple of the Dilutions left. We've got some of the Wendy Becky Archivals, and then you've got the original. So, for example, the Distress Archival, it's the colours from the Distress ink pads. So these are proper archival ink pads. So this one here, 50546, is your picked raspberry, which also includes Barn d'Or, spiced marmalade, fossiled amber. Then the next one is 50547, which is peeled paint, mermaid lagoon, faded jeans, and also dusty concord.
So let come to me now,
Yep.
to me, and I'll just
me.
show you so I could crack on, right? So I've just loaded up. I look at the stamps, I decide which ones I want to use, and I'll go with that one in the center. See, so I'll go, you know, you don't overthink this. This is just fun. Then you're going to go in the center. I've tested it. I'm happy with that. And then I just give a little wiggle. There we go. That's as easy as it gets. Then I'll pop that one back on my, I mean, I could have pre-mounted these, but to be honest, I haven't even got to overthink this. I can go to any one of these, right? Pick the next one, go to that, put the lid on that one, and now let's go to the teal one. So I'll bring that one in. I'm going to just ink up this, so you can see how tiny these are.
Yeah.
Right, so ink that one up. I'm gonna make another piece of artwork down here while I'm working on this. Why not?
Of
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this one I'm going to pop at the top there. So that's that one done. So then I'll lift that off there.
Yeah.
And that's it, friends. You just go in there, go to the next one. So put the lid on there. Good housekeeping. I'll go to the bottom now. Yeah.
It's lovely because you've got all these colours in these little mini archivals, which are, if you're new to stamping, rather than buying full size ink pads,
Exactly,
to have these selections in there.
So you just have a look, make sure the colour's what you want, make sure the ink pad's what you want, test it. One's for test and one's for best. But the idea is that you do those three first, then you leave gaps in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. I know I'm teaching you to suck eggs here, but you know.
See, I would have started at the top and worked down and then realised I'd run out of space, or
would you?
It wouldn't fit. Yeah. I would, for me, I would just top to bottom, so to speak.
Thing is, you can pick any one of these. You know, there are 25 of them to pick from with the little people. But to be honest, as far as positioning goes, there we go. We'll pop another one there like that. Nice. Right. And then you just, so now it's a lot easier to find the middle on that one.
Yeah.
It's a centering thing, isn't it? So once we've got that, then last but not least, I know this is pretty basic, but then.
But this really shows off the beauty of the stamp pens, doesn't it? How easy it is for seeing, rather than using sort of larger mounts and then getting a wobble, and you've got that center pressure, haven't you? Because it's like a pen.
They're so easy to use.
Yeah.
Because they're tiny, but you can see exactly. So let's put her in there now. Oh, she's great. So we'll pop her in and she's going to be there. So I'm getting my people in place.
It's great because you could twist the pen slightly to make them look in different directions, couldn't you?
Exactly.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
So I've got my basic strip there, if you like.
Yeah.
So do you want to have a look at the rest of those
ink pads?
Because these are a real, like Paul was saying, these are a great way to get a lovely selection
of colours at a fantastic price.
And I'm going to say something else about these as
well.
well.
I'll come back in.
Yeah. Do you know what? These are at the moment we've got them in stock. I'm not trying to cause a run on these. I don't do that, right? At the moment we've got these in stock. Mm-hmm. These are going to be quite hard to access here, not in the not too distant future.
Because we buy them.
Because we buy them from the States, and there's a little bit of an issue now. So all I'm saying is, if you wanted to kind of build a little stash, now's the time.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a selection of archival ink pads. So the first one here is 50552, and it contains vermilion, monarch orange, library green, and cobalt. Then the next one is 50553, which is plum, sepia, coffee, and jet black. The third one, 50554, is the lovely bright tangelo. Then we have, I can't read that one upside down. Something yellow. It's so bright.
Chartreuse.
Yeah, that's it. Vivid, yeah. And then you've got the manganese blue. Okay, so that's that collection there. Then the next one. We've got
all of these in stock, haven't we?
Yeah, we have 50555, which is the vibrant fuchsia, the paradise teal, the majestic violet, and then finally the shadow grey. So that's just 4 of those lovely selections
But
there.
I would say that any one of these would work with what I'm showing you here, with any one of the papers that we send you. It's not like, oh, they're the wrong one.
No.
That's the colour palette that I've used when I designed the papers to begin with.
It was, wasn't it? Because it was, it was the alcohol inks. Yeah, Ranger.
Exactly. Yeah, so let's have a look now. I've got a 5 by, I'm going to show you. We've cut that up. We know that. We've got our little people. I know this is a piece of cake, but sometimes it's worth warming up like this. So now we want our words. So let's look at our new stamps. These are brilliant. Nobody is you, that is your power. What a treasure you are. Maybe you could give me this thing.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. See, if you look here, you can see which one you're going to use. They're very block print, they're great. You know, it depends. What do you want to say to someone? I think you're brilliant. What a treasure you are.
Yeah.
Be unique, be you. You know, somebody's questioning what they're doing. Let's just take, I'm going to stick to the plan and use the one, this is my favorite, I think. What nobody is you, that is your power. Yeah, and I'm going to use my 4 by 4 inch mega mount.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to set that in the middle like so. Right, black archival. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Black archival ink pad. So let's have a look. I've got a couple of things I want to do first. Right, nobody is you, that is your power. Let's just check out the ink pad first. Make sure. Thing is, with these wood blocks, even if they're not solid black, it doesn't matter.
No, because they are literally wood, aren't they? When they were in the process, so it gives
so
that
they are
effect.
that kind of. Let's just test it on there though. Bang in the middle. Press in the center. Right, let's see what we've got. Make sure the ink pad's a good one. Yeah, lovely.
Nice.
Okay. Now I'm stamping onto a card that I've folded. So in order so that it's not doing that while I'm stamping, because otherwise the stamp's going to meet it.
Yeah.
It's going to meet it early, isn't it? Right. So what I'll do is I'll just take some of that low tack tape and I'll just secure it. Then that way I know exactly. Then I know I need to pop that there as well, only so that it's in the right place.
Oh, of course, rather than just stamp it blindly and then, then you've got to trim that back a bit more.
No, and then also, if the stamp doesn't come out well, there's other tricks there. But let's just pop that there now. So I know where that's going to be.
Yeah.
Now I've got a perfect place to stamp, you know, it's composition, isn't it? So then I'm going to take my ink pad and just ink it up again. And it's easy. Having said that, while I'm working on that, you know, the stickers, well, hello, doesn't that look lovely?
I know.
See, so you could put the sticker there if you didn't want to stamp, or you could put, if you didn't want to stamp, look, it's a sticker too.
Yeah, and you've got the papers from the pack, haven't you, to complement the front cover.
And you got these little Japanese people.
Oh,
look
at that.
See, if you wanted to, you could run that down there as well. Doesn't that look sharp? See what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's just pop them over there, though. Loads of room for play here. But we're going to stick to the plan. I'm a stamper in my heart.
Yeah.
So let's just get this. It's celebrating Clarity Stamps, award-winning Clarity Stamps. So we'll just pop that in there. Make sure we're happy with the position. Press in the center like so. Let the ink soak. If you've got a stamping platform, easy days. There, nice. And when you get little bits missing, that's because they're missing in the wooden block.
Yeah.
No, if you have a look, let me just show you. You'll see when you look really closely, there's a little bit of grit.
Oh yeah.
And that's because in the wooden blocks, that's what you get, Paul.
It was. Yeah.
So it's not that you're doing something wrong there.
Or there's something wrong with the stamp.
Not at all.
No, that's how they're designed.
And when you even with the sticker, look, see the sticker is smaller, but doesn't that look nice?
Yeah.
So let's have a look. If I could do that. I could take that one, just putting a little butterfly on it just in case. Look, it's nice though, isn't it?
It's lovely, yeah.
And all I've done is taken some of those designer papers that were given away as a free gift.
Yep.
And then just
They're just using it to complement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously can add those 5x7s into your basket as well. And if you do buy any of them, then if your basket is over £50, and when they pick your order, they won't give you the same one that you've just purchased. They will give you a
Ah.
different one. I say they, our team of pickers will give you a different one
Oh.
to what you may have purchased.
So I'm using Clarity glue runner, tape
Yep.
runner.
That's it. We've got those on the show. So the item number for those, but if you want one of them, 31065, or you can get a pack of 4, 31146.
Right, so that sits on the 5x5 because it's a 5x7 inch designer paper.
Yeah.
So it's gonna fit because it's 5 inches. So that's that.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Nice.
Then the next thing is, of course, I'm going to use the same piece for my little people. That's going to sit on there too.
Yeah.
Right, so it's better for me to use. Look, I'll show you. I'm going to pop this in place first. It's easier if it's in situ when I put the finishing touch with the pen. So I'm using the Pergamano pen. You know the
Poker colours.
the glittery the Pergamano pen. I'll show you. Where did I put it? I had it here, like that. What are they called?
Metallic gel pens.
There we are.
Beautiful.
Isn't it on the list?
No. No, it wasn't on the list.
Oh, sorry.
But
right, these are good. Pergamano, right? So what you do is we're just going to take our ruler, okay, and we can use our Look, I'll show you what I'm only doing. What Dee did. Look, see the stripe there?
Yeah.
That stripe is using that.
And you've got 7 different colours in that collection.
So we just test it, make sure it's working.
Yeah.
Right, and then we're just going to go like that. Right, there we go. And then we're going to run that pen down there like so. How many colours you got? Pink?
7. So you've got green, blue, purple, pink, copper, silver, and gold. And the item number for that collection is 70449.
That's not bad, is it?
No.
See, so now I'm going to go in there, pop that one in place. Hopefully the one underneath is dry before I do this. That'd be all right. Right, but you get the picture. And all I'm doing is wiping the ruler there, like so. Wipes ruler.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm going to bring it round again because I'm a lefty, right? And then I'm just going to make another little. I'm only doing what Dee did, but I thought it looked really nice, and it's a real good. Dee is really good at finishing, isn't she? There, that's it.
Those
done.
gel pens, £12.75, but I'm sure if you popped over to the pergamano.com website, then they will be 30% off as well.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. So yeah, so you can sort of shop on one website, because I'm sure the petite toppers will be over there as well if you wanted to buy those and get 30% off there.
That's a good idea.
But say if your basket on the Clarity website is more than £50, you're going to get one of those anyway.
Well, there we are then.
Super.
So this is obvious, isn't it? So we've done that. Thus endeth demo number 1. Look,
Super.
certain notelets, we're an angel company, happy days.
Yeah.
So you make all these different ones, but then you say, well, hang on a minute, I only got one from. Yeah, well, I thought the same thing, and I thought it looks so nice. I thought, am I going to show you? Yes, I am. Right, so what I did was I put together a demo to show you how to make more.
Right, okay.
So that I just put this to one side.
Yeah,
maybe you could have a little recap,
there we
Paul.
go. So if you wanted some of those metallic gel pens, 70449, and just because they say Pergamano, it doesn't mean they're just for your parchment craft. Then the main focus on the show today, brand new, Barbara Shack People and Bijou Layout Montage A4 Slim and A6 Stamp Collection. £10.99 saving, which means you're getting the Shack People for free. Then you've also got the brand new woodblock sticker collection as well. Item number 31781. There we go. I'll swap that out. So this is what we're just trying out. There we go. So you've got 132 stickers in total. Then also brand new today are the quotes, and you are brilliant. So this is the stamp and postcard And the saving that you're going to make there is the postcards are for free. So there we go. All available individually as well.
So what I did was,
Yeah,
can I come back?
of course you can.
What I did was I took one of the packs,
Yeah.
right, like one of your paper packs, the designer papers, and I cut them. I cut one sheet, I'll show you, into strips, 1/2-inch strips.
Right.
And then I made a sheet. Look, if I come to this page and I pan out a little bit, then you can see I've cut one of them up. I left a little bit more. I didn't cut the whole thing up. See?
Yeah.
So now I've got these pieces like this, and I'm just taking, right, there, look, if I take that one, you can see I've just chopped the whole thing up. Right, so I'll take that one there, and then this one here. So this is why you need a whole pack of them. Really?
It's very addictive, this. I know when you share how this is done.
Yeah. So now I've done, let's say, you know, how many of these you can, I've picked
We've
as
got
many
12
as you like.
different designs.
You've got
haven't
12
you, in a
different
pack?
designs, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so now this looks like what we just did.
On the front.
Yeah, but it's actually, it's a little bit wider because it's mine.
Yeah.
And it's my bespoke piece.
Yes.
So I'll just show you how I got to that, if I
Okay.
may. So let's just take these pieces here. Right, now I've got all my bits like that. But then what I'm going to do, see, if I want to do this like so, I've got to decide now whether they sit right next to each other or whether I want to maybe change them up if they're a little bit similar. Do you see what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe I'll just chop them up a little bit. I'm the designer here. I can decide what I want to put where. Do you see?
And you can flip them as well, can't you? Sort of, if you
Yeah.
wanted a darker colour or to your left or to your right.
So I could go like that if I think they look a little bit similar. And now I'm gonna. But to be honest, when you start to do this, you'll realise that they just look perfect. It really isn't that crucial. Do you know what I mean?
No.
They just look right. And I've got them in I'm just using a little the lid of a thing just because I got them together like that.
Easier
So
to
it's
slide
easier
around,
to
isn't
slide
it?
around
Yeah.
on. Yeah. So once you get all your bits together like so, right, let's just have a look like that. So I've done that. I quite like that together.
Yeah.
Right, it looks good. And then I can, yeah, and they're not overlapping. And I'll just bring them in a little bit. It doesn't take long, look. Right, but this is the way to make a whole sheet of the same thing.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to chop up you haven't got to buy dozens just to get the front.
Just get the front cover.
Right, so again, enter the low tack masking tape.
Yeah.
This is what sets it all together. So you do that. It's all sitting down now, right? That works, right? And it's all, you can feel when they're overlapped or not.
Because it'd be raised, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So now I can feel it's all flush.
Flush. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all flat. Right, and I'll do the same over there now. So I've got
trick
that one.
that you came up with, the sort of like the transferring.
Yeah.
It's
Helps,
useful for so many
different things.
Yeah.
So then we got that, right? So we know now that they all fit, they're all together, aren't they?
Yeah.
So now we've just got to lift this off here. Bear with me while I just get this out of the thingy. What am I calling it?
The tray.
The tray, thank you.
Lid, yeah.
Right, so I'll take that out of there and I'll turn that over
Yeah.
so I can see that works, can't I?
Yes.
Now, over to you for the adhesives, dear.
So I was going to wondering how it's all going to be attached together. So we've got our self-adhesive sheets.
Yep.
There's 2 different options. You can go for a pack of A6, which is item number 30108. You get 10 sheets in there. Or you can go for 5 packs of the A4, and the item number for that is 30924 as well.
That's it.
There we go.
And then once you've got that in place, like so, right, when you're happy with it, you can see if there's a bit of a gap. See, if you feel you want to close the gap, then now's your chance to do it, because you can see immediately if there's an overlap. Or I wouldn't overcook it. I wouldn't overthink it, and I wouldn't overcook it. So I've got my, let's say my
adhesive,
adhesive
sheet.
background. Sorry, I know
It's
I'm
because
rubbish.
it's getting warm, isn't it, in here as well? It's even warmer.
So let's say I take my oh, I've got two. I thought it was a bit thick. So the best way to do this is to take your adhesive sheet, because you've got to kind of hold it together now.
Yeah.
So it's a mat, yeah, and so that you can use it. This is the worst bit, is trying to get the wax paper off. Just bear with me a second while I get the wax paper off. Right. So the sticky is there, yeah, on the clarity.
Super sticky.
Super sticky, but it works like a charm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fold that over like so. So I've got a bit more control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll hold it like so, and then I'll just lean over to the like I don't want that bit because it's all a little bit. I don't need it. I'll
Because it's
chop
not
it off to
completely
start with.
straight. Yeah.
So that's flat now on there.
Okay.
And then all I'll do is grab that and then pull it through. And then while I'm doing that, I'll just keep going like that. See, and then that way, there you go.
So much easier rather than taking the whole piece of the backing off, trying to get it down. And
No, don't do
sticky.
that.
No.
And then I've got another piece here, which I cut. So you do this before you start,
Yeah.
right? And then that way I haven't wasted it, and I've got my whole mat good to go. And then you see, I love this. I love the design look. As soon as I saw Dee's artwork, I thought, cool. But it's all very clever using the front part of the free thingamajiggy.
Yeah. But once you've used it once, that's it.
Once you've used it once, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. So now that's like that. Then when I lift that off, and I lift that off, and I lift that off, I've got my lovely mat good to go and ready to be chopped up. Really nice, isn't it?
How are you going to chop that up then, Barb?
Well, I have got a guillotine.
Guillotine. I suppose you could use that lovely Japanese craft knife.
You could use a craft knife as well.
Yeah.
If I had a blue mat.
A blue mat.
Have you got one? Oh, I've got such a cold.
There's an old black mat.
There's an old black one. That'll do. It's better. But yeah. And then we've got the Japanese craft knife. Yes. This gives you a lot more. There we go. This cuts like butter. We've got some of these in stock.
We have indeed. Yep, I've got the details on the screen. If you want the complete bundle, I'm going to bring that up for you now.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to cut off the excess, and you'll see this craft knife is such a fantastic piece of kit.
It's lovely.
Yeah, and it cuts like butter.
Look at that.
Just crazy.
I know.
Yeah, you know that, don't you?
I know. I mean, I love a good craft knife, and it's been a long time. When these came in, I nearly...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But there's this also, the other thing is with these, that you've got on the mats, on the ruler, sorry, you've got the groovy grip.
Yeah, to stop it sliding.
So do you want to show friends what that's all about?
So this is the information we've got on the screen. Item number 31631. That gives you your A4 blue cutting mat. It gives you your Pergamano ruler, and it also gives you your groovy grip. In addition, you've got that fantastic Japanese craft knife as well. So all available individually, but you've got the saving there of £6. And then just drop something, just picking it up.
Okay, not to worry.
There we go. So we come back on the overhead.
Yes, please. Yeah.
There we go.
So the groovy grip, what it does is, I haven't got any on here, but I'm holding it. It's all right, but I'm nervous because it slides around. If I had the groovy grip, Paul's just going to look for a ruler with a groovy grip on it. Most of you are aware of what that is. It's just a kind of a strip of Paul's just gone to find it for you. It's like it's a strip that you take from here, but I don't want to break a pack open just to do this. And it's just like a piece of polythene that you load onto the ruler, and then what it does is it stops it sliding around. So the one I've got here hasn't got a groovy grip on it. So what you'll see is, when I'm doing this, there's a chance. I mean, I'm quite good at this, so it won't slide, right? But when Paul brings it back, see, now I want to do 1/2 inch then another ½ inch, and another half, and so on and so on. And the chances are that I will slide and it will be inaccurate. Thanks, Paul. So what we've got here is this little strip of this groovy grip, and it doesn't stick on the ruler.
No, it's not sticky at all, is it?
But when you see, let me just take the ruler that hasn't got it on, and you'll see as soon as I press, I can slide.
Yeah.
Right. If I take the one with the groovy grip on, when I press, it doesn't go anywhere. It's not going to move.
And there's no pressure really.
No,
it's just holding
it just holds it.
Yeah.
You could put it under your bath mat and it just stops it sliding around. So the point is here now, depending on how do I want this to run. So these are running this way.
Yeah.
So I want it to go that way.
Yeah.
Right. So if I, for example, I can cut from the back, or I can cut. I've trimmed it all back now.
Nice. Yeah.
And let's go like ½ an inch or 2 inches or a centimetre. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. That's good with the ruler, isn't it? Because you can then decide how thick you want it to be.
Well, if, for example, I want it to be exactly a square, then I can see.
Yeah.
Right. If I, like now, if I go to here, it's not going to be a square. But if do you see what I mean? If I go to there, then I know it's going to be a square. So this is why I use the guillotine for speed at home. But, you know, not everybody has a guillotine like I do. So now if I run through here like that, right, then that will come off. It cuts like butter, right?
Beautiful.
So that's exactly there now. So if I want to, I can go to there now and I can see exactly where it's going to be. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I just use the ruler and I use the lines, the grid on the ruler tells me exactly where it is. I hold it in place like that, right? I can see exactly where the edge is, and it just takes it off.
Nice.
Right. So that's my way of, now I've got I'm starting to build my squares now, because I'm moving across.
Yeah.
So watch what happens. I'm going to fast forward now because I've got other demos I want to show you. But you see how beautiful these Japanese knives are.
Yeah.
And you just do the bits that you need. You don't have to do loads.
Of course, you could do that any width as well, couldn't you?
Because just remember, when we did the card from Dee, she just used a strip like that, didn't she? So you don't have to use all of it. Okay, let's go in here like this. The reason I'm chopping up into pieces is because I want to show you how you can take that bit now, right? Like,
oh, of course,
yeah. So I've got that, but now if I want to, let's say I've got more of these, I've cut more.
Yeah.
So now I've got these bits, yeah. And what I can do now, because obviously I've cut these up, but what I can do now is make a quilt.
Oh, it's, yeah, like a mosaic type effect, isn't it?
So now I can take that and I can turn this one around, put that like, so if it's the same place, so then I need to just turn it round, see? And you'll see when you do this, it starts to build. Look, so the chain, they're looking different now.
Yeah.
See? So that's what I'm saying is you can make really fantastic patterns, right? And if you want it to be a bit different, just look, see, so that yellow on yellow is not so good, but maybe that one will be better there.
Hours of fun there, isn't there?
So you get these, so from stripes, which is what we were looking for to do Dee's initial card. What we've got now is, of course, we've got this particular trick where we can make squares as well, which looks more like a quilt. So you can see here, instead of using just the stripes, now I've shown you how you can make, you know, the whole panels using that free
and it's all
pad.
Sticky as well.
Oh yeah, it's all sticky.
Yeah.
So it's really easy now to just use it, and it tends to stick together, which is quite nice. So when you hold it together like that, it holds together. Look.
Oh yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So you can really get some fantastic backgrounds on that. So now instead of that, for example, I could put a whole box. Wouldn't that look fantastic? If you check that out now, you'll understand. It just is so beautiful. You see, and then you just build it up like so. So these are really nice. That's the reason why I went, I know what to give away as a freebie.
For Amazing April.
For Amazing April, if you spend over £50,
Yeah.
then we'll give you this.
We'll give you one of the 8
Yeah.
different designs. So we will pick it at random for you. And if you've already put some of the petite topper into your order, then we'll give you a different one.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see by putting them all together with the double-sided tape,
Yeah.
then you can get a really nice variation on the quilting aspect. Doesn't that look lovely?
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have your tape runner, you'd put your little squares, it'd take forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. And then and because they're all square, they just sit nicely, and you could just decide. You do this with ceramics as well, you know. This is you do this with different ceramics. So then you just pick your area. It's so lovely.
That's quite nice. The offset is like a little step. You put the little shack people climbing up the stairs.
You just took my steam away. That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Was it?
Yep. If you were to do that, you see, and then you've got your little people and you add them to the stairs. So you're making you know, and then you just pull them apart and you can just look, and that's smashing.
Yeah.
And then you just put your little people on there. It's like gold, silver.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow. That's super. Okie dokie. So I'm going to bring up some details.
And you need the folders because otherwise you're going to go, you don't need to use, look, I'll show you. See the folders, I put all the different sheets that I cut up in the folders. This is a completely logical storage solution.
Yeah.
And then all the pieces that I've got, they go in there.
Ready for your project.
Ready for my projects.
And you've got some of the adhesives
in the back as well. Yeah. That's
perfect.
It.
And you've actually done a little label on the front as well to show
me what colours I've got.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so we've got 2 different folders available for you. There we go. So the first one is, this is our Clarity mask folder. So even though it says masks on it, it's just a lovely storage folder.
Yeah, it's an A5, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it sits really nicely for this.
Perfect for that.
Yeah, I just think this is a really nice background, and it's got a bit of substance to it. And you don't need a lot of it.
Yeah, and
just
it's quite
one stripe.
Mindful doing that as well, isn't it? Because you could say chop up and then put it on your adhesive sheets and put them in there and then chopping them up and
it's very nice
seeing what you come up to.
Yeah, that's it.
So there we go. So whoops, that's just going to come into focus. No, it doesn't like that one. So I'll come back to me for a moment. So if you want the mask one, it's 30449. And then if you want the stencil one, it's 30202. So what we're going to do now is just bring up the details of the brand new collection today. And this is 12141. And you've got a £10.99 saving, which means you're going to get those little shack people for free. And then you can pop that in your basket. And don't forget, any baskets over £50 will get a pack of that lovely 5x7 petite designer card topper, which we'll just bring in the details on there. So let's just have a look at that one. So swap that out. So there we go. So you'll receive one of these. The team down in the picking department will choose one for you at random. So it's going to be like a little surprise when it turns up as well. An amazing April surprise.
There you go. What a treat.
Yeah, definitely.
We're here to treat you.
We are indeed. And there's lots of exciting things coming up here at Clarity Towers throughout the month of April.
There are lots of things coming up, aren't there?
So yeah, so that's the details for that. If you want the lovely wood block stickers, item number 31781, £12.99. Now don't forget, if you're in any of the craft clubs, then you also get your relevant club discount as well, whether it be 10, 12.5 or 15%. Then we've also got the brand new set 8 of quotes. You are brilliant. The A5 square stamp and postcard duo, saving there £5.99, which means you're getting those postcards for free. If you want to stock up on those lovely stamp pens that Mr. Dave is currently making, for a set of 4 of those, 31749, and that gives you a square, a circle, rectangle, and oval. But I know many of you have added more than that to there. So if you wanted to go for 3 sets of those, item number 31750, and that gives you an £11.89 saving, bringing it down to £59.99.
Right, my go.
Yep. back to you.
Okay, so thank you, Paul. I thought we'd move on to those little the little
Yeah.
montages. So first of all, let's take a look here. And I'm just going to use the simplest thing, and I've put it together on a 5x5. Let's deconstruct it so that we can reconstruct it.
Yeah.
So we've used, if I take this away, and all I've done is loaded it up and put a little bit of low tack tape so you can see it. So I've used a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. So this is where it actually becomes really like no pressure, mini makes,
Yes.
fun to do, you know. So we've got our little 3.5 by 3.5.
Yeah.
And then we've also taken I've used my block print nested square frames. So you can see the one I'm using at this point is this one here. And what that does is if I cut that out, even though it's got a hole in the actual die, it gives me a panel, which is really ingenious. Okay. And I've used, to get that, I've used Amazonia companion paper.
Nice.
Okay. So Paul, do you want to show us those dies
So
first?
those dies we have on the screen there. So item number is 31378. You're going to get the circles and the squares. Basically, it's buy one, get one free.
That's good, isn't it?
$24.99. And don't forget, any of the special offers that we bring you will only run until the end of the month.
So let me ask you this then. I'm going to be the devil's advocate. It's $24.99.
Yeah.
Now for that, you get both of those.
Yes.
Whereas normally they're $24.99 each.
Yep, you can buy it for $24.99 if you want just the squares.
No, don't do that. So you get the square and you get the circle for the same price.
Yes.
Added to that, you also get your club discount.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would bring, if you was a Diamond Club member, that brings that down to £21.24p.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's just over £10 a die set.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There
it's
we
a
are.
no-brainer, isn't it?
It is. So let's take a look at this then. So this one is this one here. But if I keep going, let me have a look here. I'll show you the other card. Right, so this is quite interesting. Let's just do a construction job here. On this one, I cut this out of the purple piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got that. So then that, there you go. That sits. I'm still working my way through the old.
Companion papers.
Whereas the new ones, you don't waste, although the green is lovely, but you don't waste the green because it comes as well.
Yeah.
Right. So then I've got a 5x5. I've got that on there. I'm going to use a quickie glue pen to attach that. Then I've cut this by hand because it's got a bit of a kind of an angle on it. And then that sits on there nicely. So that one is using that one.
Okay.
Then just by way of example, just to show you something different, this is cool. So now this one, I mean, because it's an optical illusion here, you think, oh, what's what here?
Yeah, because I thought it was the green paper that had been die cut into. But
no,
it's not, is it?
So no, it's not. So what we've got here is we've got the black. All I've done is taken a piece of black card. I've used the next one up, which is the heart one.
Yeah.
Right. So that now I'm using the heart one. So that's cut out of black.
Yeah.
That gives me that. Then that sits on the green.
Yeah.
Which then peeps through the aperture. And then I've put it on a 6x6 black card. So that's pretty interesting.
Because it's the black on black, as you say, it's that illusion. Yeah.
So that's, we'll have a look at those in more depth later. Let's do some stamping first. Okay. But I just wanted to show you how these are deconstructed to reconstruct them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the little purple one. Because when you look at the two pictures, let's just go in a bit closer. Move in a little closer, baby. Not that close, baby. Right. So this one, you can see I've used the doodle one.
Yes.
And that one I've used the grunge one.
Okay.
So this one I've used in black.
Yeah.
This one I've used in a colour. I've used the actual background in a colour. So that everything is the red and teal in the background here is actually the stamp.
Yeah.
But we'll have a look at that in a minute. First things first, let's take this one. Let's move that one out of the way. And let's just take a look at this little fella. Right, and that is that stamp there. So that is that stamp there.
Yeah.
So all I've got to do is take my little 3.5 by 3.5, mount that stamp onto there, like so. Now I can decide, do I want it that way around or I want it that way around? I could do that once I've stamped it.
Yes.
Right? So black archival.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
So black archival 50030.
Black archival. Right, let's see if it works. And the 3.5 by 3.5, Paul.
Yep, 3.5 by 3.5. If you want item number 31402. So that will give you 100 sheets. If you want 200, then the item number is 31402.
Let me ask you another thing.
Yeah.
Right? I've mounted this onto one of our 4x4 mega mounts.
Yep, so we've got the 4x4 mega mounts, 30380.
So when you get the mega mounts, how many do you get? Because these are brilliant.
So that was item number for that is for one of those. I will have a look.
Haven't we got a bundle
we've got a pack
of four?
Which
I see, to me, when you're getting this many of these, you're getting 9 of them. You probably want 4.
A couple of packs of 4. Yeah, definitely.
Or just one pack of 4. You know, just so that you're not always huddling around. You know, especially if you've got like a class or a group.
Yes. Yeah.
You know. I mean, that's something that is worth mentioning here. If you've got this and you've got 9 of these, what a fantastic little craft along group possibility. Because you got a couple of little packs of the people, you got a couple of wee folk, but you
got the stickers as well.
You know what I mean? But just for that's so good because they're all different, you know.
Yeah.
So let's just take a look here. I just think this for a group, you know, or with the grandchildren or the kids. So now I've got that. Now, do I want it that way around? Where do I want to go with this? You see, it's entirely up to you which way you want to travel with this. But the first thing to do really is you're combining now your little stamp pens again, your little people. You know, what do you want to say? What's the message you want to emit? And also not just that, but right, are you using the stickers? Are you using the words? What we're doing? Right, be unique sits in there really beautifully.
Yeah.
So let's go with be unique. And then now, where did I put all those handles? I know I had loads of them. Bear with me a second.
We've tidied up, haven't we?
We have, haven't we? Can you just get me a couple from around the back, Paul?
I'll just pop round the back.
Just go around the back and have a look for the handles. The little people ones, they will sit perfectly on here, but those ones are a little bit too big. There you go. Let's go to our usual. Right, be unique. Let's get the ball rolling with be unique. This is where you really get this hours of play now, because it's like filling, you know, you just fill. So I'm going to pop be unique there like so, a bit further over, so I can start to just, and I'm just going to go through here and say, right, who do I want? I want that little fella there, right? And then I'm just going to decorate my frame, and I just pop them all in. You don't have to overthink it. You can look at these. It doesn't matter which ones you take. They're all going to sit in here really nicely. You know,
25 to choose from, haven't you?
Can I make a suggestion as well? This is I can say it out loud now. I wish I had a little sheet like our printout.
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be that you stamp them all out when you get them.
Yeah.
And then you can go, right, I want him in there. I want, you know, you've got this. You can look here and you can decide. And you've also got the front cover of the shack, which is really useful.
Yeah. So that tells layout.
You exactly, and in the right size. So that's the same layout as well, which is great. Yeah. So now I can go, okay, I'm going to pick her, pop her in, and you just build your set, right? You're just literally building your set. If you want to put one in here, but you want to, it's obviously going to hang out the side, right? So you could take one that's got hands. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. I need one that has got her arms out. That one's cool.
Yeah.
There. Okay. So I'm going to pick that one. and I'll just show you a little trick. I'll pop her on there, then I'll just take the masking tape and just run the masking tape along that edge.
Yeah.
And then I'll pop that in there like so. And then I'm going to make sure that that's stamped up. And it's just like so. Lift that away. So she's in there now. Right?
What was that? There was a TV program that had all the windows with the contestants or the celebrities in the windows. I can't think what it was called.
I can't remember either, but I
That's
feel
what that reminds me of. It's like they're in the little windows in the little quiz show.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got the opportunity to do stickers. You've got the opportunity to do, I like this, love you. I mean, I often say that, love you.
Thanks.
You know, love you, Paul.
Thanks, Bob.
You know, you're supposed to say love you too.
Oh, I love you too then.
So Grace and Mark and I, the Three Musketeers, we always called ourselves.
Right.
And we have this, when somebody says, I love you,
Yeah.
right, then the other person has to say, I love you more. And then you can't hang up then, because you go,
Right.
love you more. And then the other person has to go, impossible. Right. And so what happens is I say, I love you. Grace says, I love you more. And then I go, what? She went, hey, you haven't finished yet. You're not off the hook until you say impossible. Isn't it lovely?
Oh, yeah.
Right. The other thing is on here, right, I'm going to show you a couple of superb little stamps. So this is one. This one's, you'll see it a lot coming through here. But you know, it's what you make it. You can put it where you like. See that there?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let me show you how I filled that. So you take your masking tape like that. All right. Here we go. Okay. Just a little bit of masking tape like that. I need to cover up the four sides though.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to put the four sides in like that. What's the time? Oh, we're not bad. No, it's cool. Right, and then I'll go, right, let's have a look. 1. These are so cool. 2, 3, 4.
I didn't even realise they were on there.
Yeah, I know. They're so lovely.
Wow.
Look, and then when you lift them away, you filled your little box. But they're so lovely. Let me come in close so you can actually see. This is Jazz at her very best when she adds those little details. Check that out. I know. It's a really, really nice little stamp.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Good. I didn't even know they were on there. I was just looking at the words. But sometimes when you look, you miss the little detail.
That's it. And so you just fill up your picture.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to keep going now because otherwise, you know, you can see how it works.
Yeah, it's so
and
addictive.
You can see it's fun. And you can see how you fill, how you add. Then with the colouring, for example, so whether you use B pencils or A pencils,
Percoliner pencils,
it really is entirely up to you what colours you use, right? But you can see that if you go in purple or pink, these are just beautiful for colouring in. Whether you use, like I say, whether you use pergolite, A or B pencils, they both work really nicely. These are the purple people, I decided. These are all going to be purple.
But this is so achievable, isn't it, for like mini makes? And because you're not building a larger image, even though this is only a little 3.5 by 3.5 piece of card, it's broken down with these montage layout stamps that you're building images within images.
It really is that easy. So you can see here, for example, just a little colouring exercise. But the thing is, it's just super fun and super cute, you know. And then whether you like, all I did here was just put a little bit of pink in between, just to add a little bit of a flash of colour.
Yeah.
That's all I've done. It's just added a bit of pink there. And you can see here, for example, on the actual film strip piece, right, you've got 3 little characters there.
Yeah.
And all I've done is filled in the black Look, see,
Oh, yeah.
you got your
With
three
your
little
micron
people,
pens.
you
Yeah.
fill in the black. You know, there's so much. It's very easy to do. Go on,
I was
Paul.
going to say, these would be perfect. If you stamp out all these different layouts, you've got children, it's Easter half term, isn't it, for 2 weeks? So you stamp out some of these in different things. You've got a set of the little shack people on there, a couple of sets of the stamp pens, and then hours and hours of fun of just building them up. Yeah.
So you can see how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to do is I wanted to do the
machine.
machine.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you that because I think that's worth showing.
Yep. So I'll bring up details of the machine.
If you would.
I will indeed. So we have a handful of the Kit and Caboodle Pro Cut A4 die cutting machines in stock. Item number for that is 31557. So it's £169.99. And you'll also obviously get your club discount on that as well. So for example, but that comes with 2 of your 3mm A4 transparent cutting plates, 1 of your 5mm A4 transparent cutting plates, 1 metal plate, 1 magnetic sheet, 1 rubber embossing mat, and 2 power cables, 1 for the UK and 1 for the EU, and an instruction manual as well.
Okay.
So there we go. So it's a fantastic machine to use, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So should we have a look at? Should we do it?
Yep, let's do it.
Because I'm not Paul is the paper engineer. I love dies, and I think the aperture dies that we have, these are very lovely.
Yeah.
Right. But I like these block print. They just have got a lovely style. So let's just have a look and let's pan out a little bit, and then we'll have a look at the different layers. So we've got that, what you call the 5mm.
5mm, yeah.
Right. So we've got that one. And then what I'm going to do, let's go slowly. Come on, it's Sunday. Poly bag.
Yeah.
Right. Then a piece of the
companion
paper. Yeah. Thank you. Right. So I've decided, say I want to cut this one out.
Yeah.
And I want to make so the outside is going to be a cutting edge. Right. So if I put that in the middle, I'll make a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Now that's not a silly idea.
No, you shared that with us the other week.
That's not a silly idea, because then I cut a hole in the middle, but I've still got all that for other layers.
Yeah.
Whereas if I do that, I'm restricted here.
Yes.
So that sometimes it feels a bit wasteful when you do this, but that's so useful.
Yeah, because
when
that
you're
makes
using the next
sense.
one, like that one or that one.
Definitely.
See, then out it goes.
Yeah.
So let's just do this. Now, one of the things that I feel needs flagging up as well is, even though this is low-tech tape, not that low when you put a lot of pressure on
the
it.
machine, definitely.
Right. So I'm gonna make sure that it sits on there.
Yeah.
Right. But I find what I prefer to do is I kind of detack that bit a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same here. I just want to put a little bit of my sort of fingers on there just to detack it. It will still stick, trust me.
Yeah.
But it won't take half the card with it.
Yeah.
Stick.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to use a couple of shims, I think.
Yeah, just a couple pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Because you're going to put the magnetic sheet on top, you don't know whether there's any debris on the magnetic sheet. So a piece of copy paper just works perfect for that.
Magnetic sheet next.
Yeah.
And then I'm using the 3mm sheet.
That's it.
Right. So these machines, I mean, you can use any die cutting machine to do this.
Yeah.
But the most important thing to remember is that you make the blade face down and not into the magnet.
Yes.
Otherwise you
have a lovely magnet. Yeah. And obviously, whatever machine you have, it will give you instructions on what combination is. I mean, I've always, regardless of what the machine has said, I've always done mine cutting face down because I can see exactly where it is. But that's just me.
Yeah, same here. Well, I've followed your instructions.
Yeah. So I mean, even if the book says do it face up, I always do it face down. It's just.
So let's have a look. So we've done that. And then I see tomorrow when I'm on in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be using the machine, and I'm going to be using it with alcohol inks and a gel plate. Again,
not through the machine.
No, but it's a good idea to protect all your parts.
Yeah.
When
to speak.
Yeah. But you'll see here, look, it just falls out.
That's beautiful.
There you go. it's instant, isn't it?
It really, really
Cuts
is.
like butter.
And you've got all the different designs on there. So you've got 5 different shapes on there, or not shapes, 5 different patterns in that one square set. And if I bring up the details.
But I just wanted to also show you, because I've had lesser dyes.
Yes.
Not clarity dyes, I might add, not our fresh cut dyes, but
No.
because there's Teflon covering. Did you see how that just falls out?
It really does, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Even the tightest dyes that we do,
Yeah.
the really intricate ones. And now I've got that, you see. If I want to go to the larger one, like that one or that one, right? Let's take that one there, right? If I wanted to take that out as the next frame, see, then that'll be the outer edge.
Yeah.
And that'll protect. So you've kind of removed the inside, put
Which
a piece of artwork over the top.
That's it, because it's waste otherwise, isn't it?
It is. So I like that you get.
That makes more sense when you explained that the other day, because I would have automatically just gone in a corner.
You want to save it, don't you?
Yeah, because you think, oh, I can get something kept, but you'll never go back to those bits.
No,
That's
you
the
don't.
thing.
You don't.
You put them in a box and it all builds up. So the information on those dies are on your screen. Basically, it's buy one, get one free. So item number 31378. And can I just show what they look like all cut out on the
Yes,
panels?
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the squares. You can see here, that's the large one, just cut out on its own. It gives you that piece. That's the one that Barb has just used there. Then we go down to the next ones down. So you can see this one here gives you that one with your solid panel, that one. And then if you put the little square in the middle in there, you then start to get the frames. So when you're putting them together, so for example, if I put the one down from here, which is the heart one that Barb's used on the next demo, cut that out at the same time, you then get a floppy bit, what I call a frame, you see, and then you do the same on each of those as well. So they're not just for your solid panels, you can also create your individual frames as well.
Right.
Okay.
So thanks, Paul. So going back to what I was doing earlier, so
Yeah.
we've got our piece now, we've cut it out, we finished it up, and then it just sits on there. And then this is the other one, which I just wanted to kind of talk it through, because you
Yeah.
can see immediately how that works. But the most important thing I think that's worth pointing out is that when you look at this, it's got a really fine edge, right? Which looks really beautiful, but how do you stick that down?
Yes.
So the way to stick that down is with a quickie glue pen.
Yep, so we've got those on pre-order. If you want one of them, the item number is 31454.
Where's it gone?
And did you pop it in? It's in your pencil pot. If you want 4 of them at the front, okay.
Oh, look at that. Thanks, Paul. I could have sworn I had it at the beginning.
If you want 4 of them on pre-order, the item number for that is 31455. There we go.
So what we want to do, you see, is stick that on there. But how you can't use a glue runner on that, can you?
No,
it'd be sticky.
No, it'd just rip, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and also it'd be sticky when you touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd come through.
So what I'm suggesting is that you use this on the big piece,
yeah,
and then you just use the glue runner on the little bit around the outside.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to do now is set this. This needs to be set. Right. I'm going to do this first.
Yeah, because you need to work from the middle outwards,
yes.
don't you? Otherwise, you're going to get
Otherwise, by the time I get there, well, it'll be dry.
Yeah.
It will dry before I get even to that. So I've done that bit now. And then I'm going to set that on there. Again, I've got this problem. So I'm going to just make sure that that's, you don't want that to meet it prematurely. Yeah. So while I'm doing that now, let me just have a quick look at our list, what we wanted to talk about today as well, Paul.
So we've got our open days coming up at the end of the month, haven't we?
Oh.
End of May.
We do. We do, the open days.
Yeah.
So, you know, slowly that's coming together now. And yeah, so we're starting to ramp up now with that, aren't we?
We are indeed. So we've got the ticket information. Can I talk, or did you want to talk while you're doing that? Or?
Well, let me just start the ball rolling on that while I'm doing this, right? Because I think, first of all, quickie glue pens, just let me say, if I go slowly, it comes out more.
Yeah.
Can I come in a bit closer so we can see that? Let me just come up a bit like that so you can see it better. It will come in. It will come in. Let that just find it. Cool, it's slow, isn't it? What's
I
happened?
don't know, maybe it's the white. Maybe it's focusing on the white rather than the colour.
Okay, we'll come out a bit then.
Oh, there we
no,
go.
there we are. Slowly does it.
It's too hot for it.
Right. So what we're going to do, yeah. So what I was going to say was, you know, the open days, they're attached to workshops as well. But it really is like the event of the year at Clarity. And we're starting to ramp up now. You know, it's an opportunity to come down to Kent. One thing that we don't talk about much, but I think it's worth flagging up. Ditton is a beautiful little village. It's right next door to Aylesford Priories, which are magnificent, like a real historic trip down memory lane. We're also in the middle of Castle World. So, you know, if you were coming down, we've got Leeds Castle, we've got Hever Castle, we've got Penshurst Place. You know, we're really in a beautiful part of the world. If your husband's bringing you down, if you're traveling down, you've got Chatham Dockyard, you've got Rochester Castle. There are so many interesting things. If you wanted to come down for a little mini escape, you could spend the day with us on Friday or Saturday, and then you could go away on Saturday. You come back for a workshop. There are hotels everywhere. We can tell you which hotels to say. You know, it would be a smashing place to just come and explore.
Yeah.
Chartwell, we've got really round the corner.
Is that Churchill's?
Churchill, a day away from Chartwell is a day wasted, he used to say. You know, he was a great artist, you know, Churchill.
Oh,
Painter. There's a lot of his artwork at Chartwell. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're coming down to spend a day with like-minded people in a very safe, creative, happy environment, and there is a lot on offer there, isn't there? Quite aside from, you know, so much to see beyond where you're coming, you know.
Beyond the crafting.
So you tell us now about what's actually going on beyond the crafting, Paul.
Okay. So do you want to stay with you on the overhead while you do that? Or should I go to
you
tickets?
do it.
Okay. So
hang on a minute. Let me just finish the demo.
Okay.
And then, yeah, let me just at least do the bit that I was supposed to do. Right, so he's put that down.
Yeah.
You see, in that quickie glue pen, it picked up all those tiny little pieces. Yeah. Then I'll just take a piece of copy paper and I'll pop that on there so that I can press it hard without dragging it because it's quite
after all that
delicate.
time.
Yeah, it's quite delicate, isn't it? But the glue will have held it down beautifully. Do you see? So it holds it down lovely. This is where you see where you missed a bit.
It doesn't, because you can just get underneath a little bit if you needed to.
I haven't missed it. I haven't missed it at all. So then we'll lift that off there, and that sits on there beautifully.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Really nice.
Yeah.
I wonder why that. What is with these overhead cameras? Don't even try and strike, friends. There. So that works, and then that sits on there like so. But what a really nice.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. And then that, just again, we use this. I used scissors to cut out so that it's not a regular
square, is it?
That's right. And then we just decide where we're opening. There we are. And then that goes on there like so, which is very pretty, like that. And then we can pick a sticker.
Of course.
So let's pick a sticker. And then we can talk about, love that. Yeah, nice.
And it's nice because it's got a collection of some of the previous quote stamp sets in there as well, isn't it?
Love that one.
That's nice. Yeah.
Happy Near You. There you go. Done. Happy Near You.
And you could always put a little stamp person on the inside.
You could.
Or on the back of your card as well.
Yeah, well, that's exactly that. That's a perfect place to put a little person there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just little tiny little details. These are really fun little stamps to work with, aren't they?
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, so over to you, Paul.
Okie dokie. So if we come over here then, we have our open day tickets. So if you want to come on the Friday, it's £10 for the ticket. There isn't any club discount on these. However, for that £10, what you will get is entry into a fun-filled day. There is an hourly raffle draw. Barb gets up, if you haven't been before, Barb gets up on a chair every hour.
While she still can.
And pulls out a raffle. You get given a raffle ticket when you come in.
Free.
For free, yeah. You also get your, there's make and take. So this year we have a Stampy Inky one from the lovely Sarah Brennan. We also have a groovy one with Hazel Edwards. If you're looking to perfect your pico cutting, we have the lovely Glynis in the Snip Clinic. Then we have demonstrators. So we have the lovely Linda Williams on All Things Groovy. Then we have Jane Telford. We have the lovely Louise, who many of you will now be familiar with. Then on the Inky Stampy messy side, well, we have Sam, definitely messy side on there. Then we have Deborah Wheeler. And this year we have a very special guest. We have the lovely Janice Phillips.
Yep.
And she will be putting her latest timestamp creation stamps through their paces.
Really cool.
So if you want to come on the Friday, item number for that is 60207. If you want to come on the Saturday, it's 60208. Then just before we go back to Barb, we've then got on the Sunday, we've got 2 workshops. So if you want to get inky and arty with Barb, the item number for that is 60209. And if you want to get all groovy and chilled out, item number 60210 with Linda Williams. There we go.
Marvelous. It's going to be
It really is.
Year.
It is, yeah.
And it's free parking. Did you mention that?
Free parking. There's refreshments available, and the sun normally shines.
It's lovely, and there's a park outside.
Yeah, we'll make sure they turn the heating off this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there.
We'll be there.
Your mum will be there.
My mum will be there. I've got pottery.
Yeah.
I'm making some really nice pencil pots that I'm hoping will be
there's
ready.
a long list already, I think, waiting for that.
Yeah, people waiting for them. And the reason that I don't do demonstrations is it's an opportunity. It's a community thing, isn't it? And so it's an opportunity for people that are in the shack who are really into clarity and crafting to get together, meet each other. A lot of friends come together and converge on Ditton at the time and spend the weekend together. And then they meet Sam and Linda, and they can get to ask proper questions. And for me, it's an opportunity. These people are in the shack every week, week in, week out, month in, month out.
They're friends.
They're friends. And if I'm demonstrating, I'm focused, I'm demonstrating. Whereas if I'm just selling pots and keeping my mum company, I can talk. And I think it's never been more important than now, just to be able to sit and have a cup of tea and talk to people and have time for each other.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's my reason for not just peddling away as usual. I think when I after I was in hospital that time, when I came out, I shifted my priorities, and I felt that hanging out with my mum and hanging out with friends and Elizabeth and Ruth and Samuel, just to be able to spend 10 minutes with people was more important than showing you how to make masks and how to do this and how to do that. I do that every week here, every day, all the time. Same with yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's nice to actually put faces to people's names that we see popping up all the time, like the chat today. It's been fantastic. We've got lovely Grace coming over from New York.
She's coming over from Brooklyn. And then don't forget, we've got the Make and Takes. Did you talk about them?
Talk about Make and Takes.
We've got Make and Takes and Glynis.
Yep, the Snip Clinic. And then you've got Jilly from the office. You've got lovely Lisa, Jazz and her mom in the kitchen doing the teas.
So you meet the designers as well, Lisa and Jazz.
Dave will be there as well.
Dave will be there.
So Sheila.
Yes,
Sue,
of course.
Sue will be there as well.
So it really is a good, it's a good place to be.
And it is nice and local for us as well. So if you are coming for the 2 days and there is something, because obviously we can't bring everything for you, but if you turn up on the first day and think, I really wanted to get this and we haven't got it there, then don't worry, you just let the girls know at the till, and then we always come back every night and stock up and pick up things, and if we've got it here in the building, we'll bring it back on the following day.
That's it.
It's not as if we're going all the way to the NEC and say, well, no, sorry,
sold out.
That's it.
Now let me get back to this because I'm mindful of the time. So what I want to do is talk a few demos through and then get to the New York City one.
Definitely.
Just so you understand the point of it, right? So tomorrow I'm on at 10 in the morning.
In the shack.
That's at home.
With the vase of flowers.
Then I'm going to bring Dave into the office. And then we'll do the 2 o'clock show here.
We will indeed.
And then in the 2 o'clock show is a gel plate. with alcohol ink.
Yeah.
Right. So now circling back to the postcards on this show
Yeah.
that are free with the
stamp
stamps.
set. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you this and we'll do it tomorrow. So this is like alcohol ink in the background. Really nice.
And this is what the quality of our cardstock, that it can take
Oh, yeah.
that.
So I just wanted to show you this really lovely background. It's so nice, easy to use, right? So I can take any one of these. Look, be you, be unique, be you. These are postcards, are
Nice.
great, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you can take those little people now. I'm circling back to the little people. And I can just take any one of these little people and I can go, right, I think you are brilliant. And then I can just stamp whoever I fancy. I love this.
And you can look at your packaging to see which ones as well, can't you?
Which one works? That little girl there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send this to my friend, say, right? And I've got my background all inky beautiful done. Then I take my black archival. If you've got black archival in the house, excellent. If you haven't, maybe treat yourself to a new one.
So the item number for a black archival is 50030.
She's great.
Wow.
See, so you just put that little girl on that, just stick her on there.
Look at that.
And
That's
she
beautiful.
speaks volumes, you know. And then you just pick a colour from the background, whatever seems to kind of work best, okay? And then just make her dress do the rest. There you go.
Dress, do the rest.
So she's in there now, right? I think you're brilliant. There you go. And you could fill this up and put people all over it if you wanted to.
You could, because it's a lovely piece of artwork where it created that background.
And it's steppy like that. So if you want to know how to do this alcohol ink background on the postcards, then join in at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Okay.
Super.
1:45. Right. Okay.
I'm just going to go over here because we've got a little set of those mini archivals.
Yeah.
Item number 50553, that's got plum, sepia, coffee, and the jet black archival as well.
Right.
So if you're trying it out for the first time, then that might be a good way of having a look at that.
So now let's go to this one. Okay. And I think we're clear on how I did the die cutting. We're clear on the layering trick because I rather like that black look like so. This again is using 3.5 by 3.5. And what you can see is instead of using black archival, I've used coloured ink pads. So let's have a little guess. Which ones did I use?
Oh, I'm going to look at my demo download to see which ones that you've
Candied
used.
apple and peacock feathers give me that. These are oxides.
Okay.
It's interesting, isn't it? That those two. So let me just, for those of you who are new to this kind of artwork, let me just show you the load up for this.
Yeah.
So we're going to use those ink pads. We're going to use spot on sponges.
Yeah.
Okay. We use a couple of spot on sponges, and I'll show you. If I take the ink pads and I stamp them directly onto the stamp, remember the stamp has been loaded onto one of our 4x4 mega mounts. Remember I said you need a couple of these.
Couple of those.
Right, and I'm going to do the same with the red in that corner. So juxtaposition, like that. It's a long word for a Sunday afternoon.
And you're not worried about contaminating your ink pads because they just sort of dab off, don't they?
Yeah, if I get a bit of turquoise on there, then all I've got to do is take a piece of tissue paper and rub that and it'll go away. Look, I'll show you. Just take a tissue and then just go around the edge. It's gone. There you go.
There we go.
Clean.
So I know some people may be worried about
it.
oh, it's not going to come on. Yeah.
No, don't worry. Don't give it a second thought. Is it a waste of ink? Maybe. But no, that one's fine. I wouldn't give it a second thought. There you go. They're tools. They're tools. And we've still got some in stock.
We have indeed at the moment, yes.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is use so I'm going to use my spot on sponge just to stop just blend it nicely, really.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that. And you'll find that by doing that, you get these lovely mixes of colour, you see?
Oh, yeah.
And this is a darker one, more ink, see?
Yeah.
bit of water as well added. So I can take that red, I'll flip it over, use the green side, use a different side on that one. There you go. So you could do, what I'm saying is you could get your stamp, make a few of these,
Yeah.
then fill them in.
Perfect. And this is using the grunge montage stamp set. But obviously what we have on the screen is the complete collection where you get those lovely little shack people for free.
Yeah. So like I could go like that, and then that would just stamp up really nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether you want it dry or I could spritz that with water, and I'll get a different. It'll be more marbled.
Yes.
Right. But dry is good. But that's how you use the stamp. So don't think for a minute that you've got to use black. The reason I'm doing this deliberately is because in a minute I'm going to go back to black.
Right. Says Amy.
Yeah, but I don't want you thinking that the stamps don't work with other colours, because they work beautifully with other colours. See?
Look at that.
Really nice. Really nice. That seems to have a bit of a glare on it. Sorry. We're going to have to address this top camera.
Yeah.
It's on strike, isn't it? I don't know why.
I don't know. That's...
See how it's
just there,
glared?
isn't it?
Yeah. So there you go. So you see how it works. And then all you're going to do then is just fill those little people. Now, as far as the background goes, all I've used in the background is watercolor pencils.
Yeah.
And
percoliner pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the water brushes.
And the water brushes.
Yep. So we've got all those on the show. And
what I think I want to do, I'm going to do a blog this week, a step-by-step blog.
Okay.
And I'm going to show how to make these little scenes.
Little areas. Yeah.
So I'd rather do that in a blog. Than rush it.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Because I know you really want to go to New York City.
I really want to go to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I know that it's 10 to 5, and Dave said be home at 6 because I'm making roast chicken. So he's like, okay.
Roast chicken.
Okay.
Lovely.
Roast chicken. So over to you for 2 minutes.
Right, super. Okie dokie. So I'm going to bring up the details there on the screen. So item number 12141. This is Barbara Shack People and Bijou Layout Montage A4 Slim and A6 stamp collection. Should be £58.96. Saving is £10.99, bringing it down to £47.97. Now, if you're a Diamond Club member, that brings it down to £40.77. Don't forget, if you spend over, let me go to this one here. I'm going to bring that one in there. If you spend over £50 between now, or between it kicked off at 6 o'clock last night, until midnight on Thursday, you will receive a free gift, and you will receive one of these beautiful 5x7 petite card toppers. Now, these are worth £14.99. So you may want to place an order today, and if it's over £50, you'll get one there. When you come back and join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Barb's going to be doing some magical stuff with the alcohol inks. And if you've been sitting on the fence and then you're thinking, not sure, but you decide tomorrow and your basket comes to £50, you'll get another one. So it's not restricted to one per customer, it's per order.
Yes.
So absolutely super.
So let me come to this counter now.
Yeah.
Let me come over here and let's just pan out a little bit so you can see what I'm actually doing.
New
so
York.
This to me is like New York. You can see the fire exits and it just looks, it's the color, it's the grunge, it's that warehousey kind of grungy look. And we're using the retro stamps. I'm using this one here, and you can see I've started to rotate it. But where do you begin with this? The background is very important. So I've used one of Sam Crow's fantastic papers.
Yeah, we've got those on the screen.
So these are, whichever one you go for, they're just fantastic. If you go over to what Paul's showing you there.
There we go. So we've got the trio. Something. These are basically 3 for the price of 2.
Yeah.
Item number 31762. Available individually. So this is Sam's Things to Do.
Yeah.
Then we have Sam's Just to Say. So you've got lovely pinks and teals in there. And then you've got some beautiful blues. Item number 31199. But that whole collection, 31762, and it's free for the price of 2.
So I've used one of Sam's papers.
Yeah.
I tell you what else would work is the infusion papers. You want something
Oh, of
grungy and gritty,
course.
but
Yeah.
I'm in love. I love Sam's stuff. I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, this would work incredibly well.
Yeah.
So the thing about this is, whereas the other artwork that we were doing, it was very much the centerpiece. You took the
Yes.
block, you use the art block as it comes, and you use it whether you turn it that way or that way. You can see that each one is its own little piece of artwork.
It's like a little topper, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Right. So here what I've done is I've taken this one here, right? And I've just built a whole wall of art.
That's one stamp.
It's one stamp. So you can see I've put it here, I've put it there, I've left a gap, I've rotated it again. So I've built the whole lot off the back of one stamp.
One stamp.
Yeah.
So you got 9 stamps in this collection.
I've only
You
used
could
the
do
one.
it 9 times, couldn't you?
Yeah, but they all. But
yeah.
So then what I've done is, let me just explain what I've done, and then we'll do a little bit. So I've used black. Now what you'll see is if I go to this camera, let me just show you. If I come in, you'll see there's a gloss. There we are. So you see how that is embossed.
Yeah.
Right. So that I want to show you how that got embossed. What you'll also see is you've got stickers in there. So you've got stickers, we've got stamps. So I'm decorating, right, some and some. The stickers have been toned down with ink. That's if I show you the white one here, see the difference?
Yeah.
All I've done is taken the white, that's a white piece.
That looks like it's been die cut. It's like an aperture.
It's just using ink pads over the top to tone it down to make it grungy.
Wow.
Yeah. So very nice to do. Very easy to do. Let me show you. Now, the only thing was, when I was doing this, the first thing was archival black. Oh, my thumbs, yeah, they quick drying.
Yeah.
So I went with VersaFine Clair on this.
Yeah.
Slow drying.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing about this is it's slow drying.
Yeah.
The worst thing about this is it's slow drying. So then I'd done that. Honestly, I'd waited about half an hour, and then I went, right, let's get rid of some of the dust. Yeah. And it was still dry. It was still wet.
Wow.
Right. So that's when I thought, okay, we need to heat set it. And that's how we ended up with the
lovely glossy
effect. So just how things evolve.
Yeah.
What I want to do is take a piece of, I'll show you where I start, and then you'll understand. The most important thing with this whole thing is not to overthink it. Put it on a piece of paper so that you don't stamp onto your lovely coffee table. And then as you're doing this, start in the center and work your way out. So I'll just do a couple, just so you get it. See, the VersaFine Clair, it takes forever to dry.
Yeah.
Even though it's a pigment ink.
I suppose it depends what you're stamping onto as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the temperature in the room.
Yeah. But if you say, take this one now, I could go anywhere I like with it. I'm not even going to overthink it. I'll just put it there to start with. Not bang in the middle.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'll look too centered, right?
Yeah.
So we'll pop that there like so. And then we'll just, and the thing about this is, right, like I say, I did that whole thing. I didn't have to do powder, emboss, next one, powder.
Right.
No.
Because of that, and you're starting again like you did when you was applying the glue to that die cut. You're starting from the middle and working out.
But say now that's like that.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'll turn that round, and I've got to kind of work out so that it doesn't. So I'll do. You see what I mean? You sort of go around and you think, but don't overthink it. That's not necessary.
No.
But the point is that you can also leave gaps. So you leave, like, there's a hole in there where I've gone that one,
Oh,
and
there
that one,
like
I've left a gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way it's more interesting. You're not making a row of them. So so then I'll go to that one. I'm not going to overthink it. See, and because I'm using a slow drying ink pad, I don't have to worry whether it's going to work or not work, or whether it's in the right place. I could go that far. I could go off the page like that.
Yeah.
See, and then I'll put that one in. So now I'm going to do that one, and then I'll do one here, but maybe I'll leave a gap.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You've got to
Do you
kind of
say you think about it, but don't overthink it.
Mhm.
Is that bit touching? Is that the same as that bit? And
so that's touching that bit there,
yeah,
right? So then I maybe do this one, but I don't want it to look the same as that, and
yeah,
I don't want it to look the same as that. So maybe I'll lift that round and maybe put that there. That'll look really good.
yeah,
So I'll leave a little gap, and round I go again. So I could do. See, I couldn't even prepare this one. I have to kind of do this to show you.
because it's building it up, isn't it? The
Yeah.
background.
And then when you do that, you build it up. So we do the third one. Let's just do one more. And I could leave a little gap now there, right? So don't feel that it has to be butted up like that. So I'll leave a gap there because I think that will look quite nice. I could put a sticker in there. I
Yeah.
could put a stamp in there. It becomes part of the art.
Yes.
Right? The gaps become part of the whole process. So now let's do that. Okay. And I'll go round and I'll do the whole lot. And until you've done all of it, it doesn't track.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. And then you go to the next one, maybe put a bit here, go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe, but you've got to be sure if you're going to do that you do that one there. That's what I would do.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
one there, like that, then there.
Because you're creating that space then in that area.
See, so it's offset.
Yeah.
So once you've done all that, then seriously, I waited half an hour, went like that, and it was still wet. So then you've got powder. So this is, I've got here Clear Gloss Superfine from Wow. And most of us have still got powder in the cupboard, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop powder on. This is for those of, back in the 90s when I started stamping, this was the only thing anybody did.
Yeah.
That's why I caused a bit of a stir with my landscapes, because everybody else was still gold embossing everything. If you couldn't emboss it, it wasn't stamping. Do you remember?
And also, there wasn't the colours available in ink pads, was it? So you had a black ink pad, but then you had all these lovely colours in embossing powders.
Exactly. But you can see that this. So just pop that back in there. That's so. Yeah, so, and you know, they used to say there's a shelf life on embossing powder. I don't know. I'm still using embossing powder from 20 years ago and it still works. So let's just do that now. Thanks, Paul.
That would have still been wet, that other piece, and you would have got your powder on it.
Yeah. So now I've got that.
Yeah.
And you can see it's got powder on it.
Okay.
So I'll take my embossing gun.
Not a hairdryer.
No. And I can use slow from the front.
Yeah.
Or I can go fast. Right. That chicken, I can smell it from here today.
And I suppose it's because you've got that grungy look to it. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, does it?
Nope. Not at all. But if we can just have a look here, you see, and you can see it, and it flashes really fast. Just keep it moving so that you don't burn it, or you'll know when you've overdone it because it goes matte.
And it starts smoking.
Yeah, when it catches fire, you've overcooked it. But you can see here how it works. If your fingers are getting hot, move them. But all I'm saying is that this really, really, it stays wet, the versifying clear, for the whole piece easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you go to that one, and then you can see if it's still matte, it means it hasn't worked. There, like that bit. All done.
Nice.
That's it. And then once that's
beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
The detail.
That's it. But once you've got that whole thing covered, and this is the point as well. So I got carried away and I started stamping in here using the little stickers from the set, because they're just so lovely, right? So if, for example, let me give you, if I just take one word, and I could take the black one because it's grungy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'll take one that fits. Let's have a look. I think you are. No, I want to take one that's got a bit more where you can see it more. Less is more or less. Let's take that one. And let's pretend that we were going to... See, you could put it over the top, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like there. See, it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't matter that it's bigger than the box.
But let's pretend I've got that one.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to keep stamping around it.
Yeah.
But it stands out a little bit.
Very bright.
It's very bright, isn't
Yeah.
it? It doesn't... It's not ideal if we look. It's quite grungy. It would look better if it were a little bit more embedded in there. Right, these are the colours that I dug out, like antique linen. Right, if we take antique linen and we just take a bit of the ink pad like that, and as soon as you go over the top, look,
it's taking the brightness away.
Yeah. And then I'll go in with a bit of pink because there's a lovely lot of pink in there.
Yeah,
in the paper. So you pick the colour in the paper and then you go for it. In fact, Kitsch Flamenco, this might be a bit brighter. Let's give that, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So just so you can see it better. So you see how suddenly that sticker, which was bright white, completely ties into that background.
And because it's got that same woodblock effect on the sticker as well, it doesn't look out of place, does it?
Not at all.
And for me, looking at this, I mean, that lovely piece that you created, the New York City, it's on a 7.5 by 7.5 piece of paper from Sam.
Look, so I can add pink to it as well. See what I'm doing? So I can add a bit of pink as well to there. There you go.
Yeah. But imagine that was a piece of white card and you did stamp that out. Like how overwhelming that could be, couldn't it?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
All of it's a white piece of card.
But now you've got the grunge in the background. In that one here, where we were looking at the little moons in the background and that. Right. So here it is. Let's just pretend.
Yeah.
We'll pop that in there. Let's make a little scene.
Okay.
Right. So we'll pop that in there like so. One of those little moons.
Yeah.
In
got
that
those
goes.
On the show.
Like there. Pop a moon in like that. Right. And then I take my... See, this is where you get... Each little box becomes a little...
window.
Yeah. So you go like that. And then you get your little window down. Is anybody there? Or is it just me and you now,
there's
mate?
plenty of people there. Apparently that game show I was thinking of, it was called Celebrity Squares, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I remember. So say we go like that. Just let's make this little window so you understand. Then I'm going to make that sky really pink.
Pinky grey.
Pinky grey. There you go. So I got my little pinky grey. I'm going to finish on one of these little people. You know that?
Yeah. Why not?
Go like that. And then I'm going to pick a person. Pick a person, any person. Let's pick oh, that one. He looks like he's winning. That one.
Right.
So we're going to take this little fella. Let's have a look. I'll stamp him on there to make sure he's lovely. Yeah. Right. Take him off there. Yes.
Look at that.
See, and then when you lift that moon off, it's a little thing.
It's just waking up and stretching out, isn't
there
it?
We are.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here. Where are you? And then
look at that.
You just take your pencils and you add a little bit, or your darker ink pad, and you just add a little bit of anchor. He's got to be standing on something, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So a little grey pencil or a black pencil or anything that you happen to have, like here. Here we go. So he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we just blend him in.
And in your New York one, you did a little bit of doodling in there as well, didn't you?
I did in the New York one.
Yeah.
And this would become, see? So did a little bit of the little fellas in there, bit of doodling, bit of basket work. Then you take your green, you can put a bit of green in there. See?
Yeah.
Tone it down a little bit if you feel it's...
And as you say, you're sort of like taking your colours from your backing papers, so it's sort of creating that tone look.
There you go. As soon as you add a little bit of pink, it takes that back.
Yeah.
It takes it back. It just knocks it back a bit, you see? So you're using the green, but you're not.
And that piece, as I say, from there, that looks as if that was already on the paper.
Yeah.
because the colour that's coming through, or appears to be coming through,
Where
but
is
it's
it?
not.
It must be on one of these somewhere.
Probably used it. There it is. There's peace.
There it is. Peace.
Peace.
Ain't that the word of the month?
Yeah.
So there you go, friends.
Wow.
New York City.
Super duper.
Yeah. So
Goodness.
just to recap.
Yeah. So on the screen, should we go to a full screen for the
You go
complete
where
bundle?
you want
I'll
to go,
I'm
dear.
going home. Item number 12141. No one can see. We've got the full screen. You've got a saving there of $10.99, bringing it down to $47.97,
Yeah.
plus your Relevant Club discounts as well. And then what you lost now? We're
I'm
back
just
on the
looking for
screen.
that sheet of what else we need to talk about, but you had it.
There we go. I'll pass that round there. No one saw anything. So if you want that complete collection there, if you want the brand new woodblock sticker collection as well, item number 31781, $12.99. Then if you want the quote stamps with the free postcards, item number for that is 21239. And then don't forget, because it's Amazing April,
There we
from
go.
now until midnight on Thursday,
Yeah.
then you'll get a pack. If your basket's over £50, then you'll get a pack of that beautiful 5x7 petite card toppers, and you get 12 designs, 4 sheets, so that's 48 sheets. And you often just fold them in half to make little notelets as well, don't you?
But this
And
is the whole idea was to go to that.
go with that,
Yeah, because
So
it's
that's
a
where,
really lovely way of making a backdrop.
yeah. So would you recommend, if you're going for the adhesive sheets, would you go A4 or A6?
A4 for this job.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if maybe your basket just needs to top over at that little bit,
And then you just
maybe
chop
you
it
want
as
to,
you need it.
yeah.
And you peel off the bits that you want, you know.
Yes.
But once you've chopped them up, you see, what makes the best sense is that you keep them all like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're in there.
And then you've got your colorways, and
Yeah.
you might have 2 or 3 different color packs and
Yeah.
say, right, I want that one from that one, and I want that one from the other one.
Exactly.
But once you've got the strips,
Then
you're off and
yeah,
running.
and
really.
I can see hours and hours of fun just putting all together, all the different
Really
combinations.
nice. Yeah. Quilting, striping,
Yeah.
and it all came from that D
Using the
picture.
front of the
I
book.
really like that
Yeah.
idea. And then the little circles as well.
On the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So tomorrow
Yeah.
at 10 it's the Shack.
10 it's the Shack. Yeah. Continuing with the letter B at 10 o'clock.
That's it.
And then 2 o'clock, Clarity Social TV with those lovely botanical collection and the new stencils.
Yeah.
Stencils.
And the gel plate.
And the alcohol inks.
And the alcohol inks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
and I'll show you how to do that background
with the postcards. Yeah.
Because that's really worth seeing.
It is.
And it's really easy once you see it.
Yeah, because I always thought with alcohol inks that you can only put it on like non-porous.
No,
type, like,
I've used it on the gel plate for years.
I mean, like on the card, I didn't think
you thought you had to use it on a chromo card?
Yeah,
or something
chromo
like
card or something like coated card.
No, it's about lifting it, isn't it? It's about how to lift it from the gel plate.
So
there are different ways to do it as well.
So yeah.
So I'll show you a couple of tricks tomorrow, and really. Then next week, it's just about the only other thing is, of course, you've got the 1, 2, 3 course on
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
We've got Groovy Tuesday, and then 2 o'clock with Louise for it's a focus on some of the Pergamano tools, because we've got our Pergamano parchment party with 30% off.
Yes.
Wednesday, is the second part, module 2 of our 1, 2, 3 foundation.
That's been
course.
getting some rave reviews.
Really has.
Well done to Louise.
Thursday, 7 o'clock in the evening, in the Shack again with Barb.
Yeah.
Then Friday, you've got a brand new launch at 10 o'clock.
I have.
For a 1, 2, 3 course.
Yeah. Landscapes a go.
Landscapes.
Yeah, I decided to start with the landscapes because I've been getting a lot of people saying, I'd really like to get the colours right and you make it look really easy. Well, so let's do that.
Yeah.
And then that kind of segues into the gel plate foundation course.
It does. Yeah. So
and you?
Then I'm up. So whether you're here or at home at 10 o'clock with the launching the foundation course.
Yeah.
Then I'm on Hobby Maker with a new collection from all-in-one collection, Tina Cox Designs.
Fabulous.
And that's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So it's 2 hours.
3.
And then 7 o'clock. So
3 hours.
3 hours.
Aww.
So, and the lovely Jane Telford's finally kindly prepared the demos for me to share.
So a fabulous week ahead.
It is amazing
April.
Yeah.
I think what's really important is that we just keep staying upbeat and optimistic,
And
you know,
it-
and circle the wagons.
Yeah.
Stick close to clarity. We're here to keep you company. You know, like in lockdown, it was like, don't worry, you're not alone. I understand.
Yeah.
We're all a little bit apprehensive at the moment, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, and so let's just stick together and be creative, and this too shall pass.
It will indeed.
So thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute delight. And now I better go and get my...
Yeah. So thanks to Gillian and Gracie for helping out in the room.
Thank you very much.